Being featured is brought to you by Lucky Horseshoe, A&R Electrical Services, and Patient Spirit Productions.
My guest being featured today is a soca champion, and he's also a lead singer in the band Soca Cartel. His name is Mikey Mercer. Mikey, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man.
Well, you have some big tunes, Freedom, Things Never Change.
Yeah.
Talk about what's happening this year.
This year is vibe, and as my team said, we back with a bit of a vengeance. Yeah. We had a few hiccups, and I had a few hiccups last year, and we had a late start with our planning and such. So we made sure that this year we dead on early out the blocks, and things are running smoothly. They're running according to plan. Actually, a little better.
Yeah. Well, I remember you at Vesey Hall School Choir, and then a couple of years forward, the quartet G Syndicate, I think, is it?
Well, G Syndicate, my interest in the G Syndicate came in 2007. The end of 2006 into 2007, but it was an a cappella group called Ecstasy. It was myself, Lorenzo, a guy called Steve, and another guy called Marcus. But you know, that kind of singing was always my thing.
Yeah.
I was always into that kind of that stuff. So I guess the transition from Ecstasy to G Syndicate was inevitable.
Yeah.
But G Syndicate is a bit more in depth, where the harmonies, thicker harmonies. After all, it's 6.
Yeah.
No 7 people.
Yeah.
And the guys are upon a different level.
Okay.
So G Syndicate, everything ties in because G Syndicate keeps my ear and my voice well tuned, right? For when I have to deal with the soca aspect.
Okay. Tell us about the transition now from that to actually coming out as a soca artist.
Well, as you would know, I was part of the Grass Skirt Posse.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody always knows the big one at Marcus Estate.
Yeah.
So it was in 2003 when we went to Trinidad with Timmy. When Timmy had Bumper Catch a Fire, right? And it was a fete in Pier 1. And we were in Marshall set. And just after Marshall, I saw these guys are all black set up. I said, who's these people? And guys walk on and power from there. That was Bungie Garland.
Nice.
Right? I always saw the people react to him. It was a completely different reaction to how they react to Marshall, right? And his stage presence was a different stage presence to Marshall as well. So, but for looking at that, I was like, I want to do that. I really want to do that. So that night, I went home from the fete, back to the hotel, and I wrote a poem. What was then a poem. The next year, I told Andy Blood Armstrong, who was still with Square One at the time. I said, Andy, man, I won. Obviously from the alliances, because we danced with Crossfire, we danced with Rick, we danced with Square One. So I went to Andy, so I told him, man, I really want to sing a song. Really want to sing a song. I said, cool. I said, you can write one for me. I said, cool, no problem. But he was traveling, he was really busy. So time was getting, as you mentioned, time was getting bony. Right? It's getting real slim. So I told him, I got something at home. I can bring it and we can see if it could work. I said, cool. So with the same Ecstasy, Sarah Lorenzo and them, we had a rehearsal and I ran it by the guys because he went home and come up with a little melody and I was iffing for the chorus. So Lorenzo and Steven tell me, all right, this is what to do. Just sing what you got for the verse, and when we get the chorus, the first that comes to your mind, we can do. And it was Lorenzo came up with the the melodic structure, and Steve came up with the lyric of the "Wave them high." I said, "All right, that sounds cool."
Yeah.
So we went to Blood. Blood said, "Yeah, boy, they say nice," and it was different because coming from singing a cappella and singing in choirs to go and execute a soca track is something completely different. Huh? Soca's a bit more aggressive. So when they went in there, when they put down the vocal, Blood said, "What are you singing there? You singing in the choir?" I'm Blood cursed me. I just met the studio. Right? But he later then told me that was his way of one, enlightening me to the fact that you gotta be a bit more aggressive with soca. And that was him trying to find out if it was really serious. So when he saw, like 2 days later, he came back and put on the vocal properly and well, a little bit more aggressive and such. Sorry, we got off of there, and the rest is history.
Talk about your style. Who were you taking the examples from early up in the game?
Early up in the game, everybody knew it was Bungie Garland. Everybody knows of Bungie. All know it's still a big Bungie fan. But it was also taking a lot of, I was taking in parts and pieces from Sam Andy, Edwin, Rick, and whoever I could observe and learn from, I was taking from. I was always into, but I just come like a sponge. I just soak up everything, and then I just say, all right, I can work with this, I can't work with this, because everybody's style different. So something that may work for Blood may not work for me, and vice versa. So it was then the 7 out trying to figure out what was my style and what was not my style, and that was the years coming after come together.
Okay, and then you land a gig with Barney Electric.
Yeah, that was 2005, 5 into 6. And that was definitely a learning experience. Singing, performing as an individual artist is completely different to singing with a band. Ideally, imagine I performing one song the previous year, we come together, and the transition from that to singing our set with a band it takes a lot more physically, vocally, and understanding your audience better. You got system quicker and all that sort of stuff. So I'm thankful. I'm very, very thankful for my stint with Electric. I think it was only like 2 years, from 2006 to 2007. 6. Yeah, the beginning of 2007. Right? So, but I learned a lot. I learned dynamics where band is concerned, presentation. I learned some what to do, some what not to do. I understand that in a band you're going to have to deal with different personalities, and everybody can be different. And you got to be able to still have some kind of symbiotic relationship and come together with everybody to have one common goal and one common focus to go forward as a band.
Well, let's talk about competition. Again, in the competition mode. Talk about the first thing hitting the stage, the competition. Obviously, seeing that big crowd, soca finals.
Yeah, 41 at East Coast. My debut year at East Coast, to my knowledge, I think it was the biggest recorded crowd at East Coast that year. And it's one thing, because we danced on the stage prior with Rick and again with Timmy and such. But to go as an artist, as a singer now, was something completely different. I was so nervous, but I had a close contingent of friends. All the guys and girls that were dancing with me were my close friends, right? And we stuck together from school days. Actually, we used to dance with a group called KK. We used to dance at school concerts and stuff. And those were the people who were dancing with me at the concert. And the guys were just like, "But you just go and do your best. We come here to enjoy yourself." So we executed. And clearly we did it fairly well, because when it came down to the presentations though, and at that time I think I got called from 20 all the way up. And I will be honest, I swear I heard my name at like 15 or something like that. So I was like, all right, cool, 15, not bad, all right. Next year's another year. I really wasn't expecting to get here. So I got to the point when my finger got asked for the last 2 persons to step forward. So everyone stepped forward, and Blood looked at me like, "So you ain't gonna move?" I said, "I'm going here." I said, "Is you and Edwin the last 2?" I said, "Last 2 duo." So it freaked me out, right? And even Edwin, I was so, these give it. right? I was literally propping up for Edwin. But Edwin won. I came second, but he felt like he won.
Yeah.
Because first time out, and he got second at Party Monarch.
Yeah.
What?
I think
That was great.
crazy.
Yeah. And then the next week I went on the Windy Road March, so that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, but then the following years now, could we get real, right? If you are here, the only one place to come, you know.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not sure what you're doing. Because that was my first year, my very very first year. So we still had a lot to learn. So the next year came like 9th or something like that, like Party Monarch, right? With that time again. So for me, how I saw it was like, all right, we broke out on the scene so people know who Mikey is.
Yeah.
But now we really gotta start building from scratch.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a lot of work. Party Monarch is a lot of preparation, and back then it was even shorter. You only had a week. Now you have 2, right? But you had to do all of this stuff in a week.
Yeah.
So you had to make sure you had a proper team, and you had to know exactly what you were doing. So it could not wait till the last minute.
Yeah.
And that helped me to get into the mindset that I have now, where preparation is key. So I prefer to be prepared and not make it, than to make it and not be prepared.
Pavement Anticipation. That was the tune that propelled you to the goal.
Yeah.
Talk about that year.
2011. The years leading up to that, I had come second in Party Monarch about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Right. So I was always planning. I always had a plan. I always had a vision for this nighttime presentation.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the song was, but I had a plan for this nighttime presentation for Party Monarch because it was always during the day initially. So that year, I had it typed out on my computer. I had it saved everything. What 3 years prior though.
Nice.
So when the NCF decided when this year after it moved to Bushy Park, and then they said, what we're gonna do? We're gonna shift on the competition, and the sweet soccer is gonna be during the day, and the Party Monarch gonna be at night.
Right into your laps.
I said, what? Is it serious? So he said, and I said, boy, this is good, but only thing you got to go find a song now.
Yeah.
So what I did, I sat down and I read through the presentation that I had planned, and I just sat down and I tried to visualize exactly what I wanted the people to do, what I wanted to see while I was on stage, and that's why I wrote the song.
Okay.
Right. So even for the intro with the glow sticks and everything. Funny enough, we bought it for the time it was announced that I was going to nighttime. We went and bought the glow sticks. I knew how to song. I said, but I want glow sticks. I didn't want to use glow sticks, and I didn't want to wait until the last minute to go get them. Right. So from January, February, we had the glow sticks. Just put it down. So on the night now, going in, I was like, well, Michael, I'm real comfortable at night. Right? Everybody know I'm a big morning person and that sort of stuff, but I love theatrics. I like making things look pretty. Right? So I said, man, if there's one, I going all out with this one. Let the chips fall with me, but I going all out with this. And fortunately, I came out victorious. And it was so. I think I just dropped on my knees because as you mentioned, you knock up on your door, you think second, right? And finally get that. Even Edwin couldn't be a finally do it, buddy. You finally do it.
Yeah.
Blood was like it was, and everybody was happy, right? And it's a feeling that is really hard to explain. Even coming into the next year, my very first sponsor, Jajetta, she sponsored me for a luggage center. Very, very first sponsor. She's still with me today. She was like, have you enjoyed your year as king?
Yeah.
I said, yeah. She was like, I hope so, because you gotta understand where you're gonna lose if you get beat.
Yeah.
So it was at that point in time I realized, yo, Dre, this thing's serious.
Yeah, it is.
Right? So then going into the next year, which was a milestone in the history of Barbados, where we won 4 titles the following year.
Yeah.
The Sweet Soca where we lose, Party Monarch with No Behavior, we lose won the Road March, and then it won People's Monarch as well. So that was 4 titles in 1 year. And that was amazing. That was surreal, right? It was, even afterwards, the jumps done and everything, be touring and stuff. And they sometimes just be like, shh, we made 4 titles in 1 year. Right? Yeah,
That's
so
crazy, yeah.
it's fun.
Okay, you also had a chance to compete in Trinidad, different ball game.
Completely different ball game.
Talk about that experience.
It was significantly different because at that point in time the song, which the first one was Paid by Anticipation, it wasn't playing that much down there, if at all. It only like, coming on to the finals is when they really started to pick up, right? And so I ideally went on, as I said, the biggest soca stage in the world.
Yeah.
Performing a song that the crowd really didn't know.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this gonna be a challenge here, Michael. But you have to go full throttle.
Yeah.
And when all is said and done, you have to represent yourself, have to represent the country, and you have to do it with pride and dignity, right? So when we went, initially, the crowd was like, but by the end of the song, we were getting a response. People were up and jumping and that sort of stuff. So even when we went to the interviews after, the interviewers were like, we've never seen that before. We've never seen somebody start that ideally flatline with songs that people did not know and get that response by the end of the song. And that speaks to your power as a performer.
Yeah.
But you gotta believe in the songs. Yeah. If you don't believe in the songs, and you don't believe it, and you don't give off that energy, you ain't get by anything. So it was boy, we already got nothing to lose here.
Yeah.
Let it all hang out, as my karate instructor tell me. Just let it all hang out. Give it your all, and we can pick you up when you're done.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you're also in the band Soca Cartel. Talk about landing that gig. In fact, no, let's start with tell us a little bit about the band. Who's in the band?
Soca Cartel is myself lead, Anderson Blood Armstrong on lead. On bass we have Ryan Lewis, who is now branded the Whatless bass man.
The Whatless bass man.
Yeah. He's officially part of Soca Cartel Frontline.
Yeah.
On drums we have Tito Ellis. On keyboards we have Stephen Tate, otherwise known as the businessman.
Yeah.
And Corey Ford and Rocker on keyboards, and he did the computer, all the samples and all that sort of stuff. So Soca Cartel we formed in 2010, right? And we were like, Blood and I, we were doing songs on rhythms, on the same rhythm for at least 2 years, right? There was We Love It and Walk Out the Bam Bam Bam.
Yeah.
And then we had Chaos and Rhythm Section the following year. That was 2009. So after that year, we were at hockey. We had to perform at a hockey festival. And Blood was like, boy, this rhythm thing doing cool. I said, Andy, you realize that, we put on stage together. You make a pretty cool front line.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, boy, we should form your own band. He was like, yeah, boy, if you form your own band, boy, the whole place mash up. I said, the whole place. Just like that. So he started to look at Andy, and he looked at me. He was like, all right, don't record it, don't write it down, nothing. Let some time pass. If you remember this straight off, we can forward with this. This is in October. So in coming across the Oyers, we had a little get together by his house. I said, Andy, man, you remember that song that we were doing, that we come up with by hockey? I said, yeah, boy. I said, yeah, boy. That made it catchy enough, and it's strong enough. I said, but Andy think we should form a band. I really think we should form a band. So we sought out the musicians who, ironically, they were actually with Jabe. Jabe was then defunct. And because we had a meeting with them, they said, yeah, well, we good for this. We all bought it. And that year, our debut year, it was hopeless match and on fire. 1, 2, party anthem, 1, 2, 3. So it was a pretty good year. And then Blood won the Road March that year. So from 2010, our inception, to last year, whether it be Soca Cartel, the band, or the individual, Soca Cartel had one party monarch for those 4 years. Yeah. Right? And I think that was quite an achievement.
Yeah. You guys also had a chance to do some touring.
Yeah. We did Suriname, we did some Caribbean islands, we done Beckway a lot. We really like Beckway. Yeah. Dominica, we did the US, We did some college tours, and yeah, and individual, because you know even though the success is here, it's still getting the brand Soca Cartel out to the world.
Yeah.
Literally, that's why we had Soca Cartel to the world, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's going to take time, right? So, but so sometimes, like myself and Andy, we will go and we will go as just the two of us and perform.
Okay.
But eventually, when we build that rapport and stuff with the promoters and we build that the amount of hits over there, as much as we have here, then it'll be easier to bargain.
Yeah,
You can bring
yeah.
the band and such. So it's a growing business when all is said and done. But we've done a fair amount of touring with the band of itself, and either by myself or me and Andy together. It's been fun so far, and we're looking forward to doing bigger and better things.
Yeah, I hear a lot about the Team Mikey charity. Talk about that and what that's all about.
From Wesley Hall days, we were always taught that whenever you can, you help somebody, because you never know when you're going to be in that position to need some help, right? And coming up through Wesley Hall, coming up through Queen's College, that always stuck with me, right? And when I got into entertainment, I said, well, I think there's more than, as I say, all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
I think I got to find a way to give back. So, whereas I would do my regular charitable stuff before, right? I said I want to be able to help on a bigger scale. Now, there's certain, for lack of a better word, there's a lot of red tape you have to go through when dealing with certain things.
Okay.
So I said, well, to do this, what do I have to do? They said, well, you have to be a registered charity to help at this level. It's no problem. So we went through it. It took a while. 'Cause obviously, they want to make sure they're doing it for the right reason. They're going to screen you and all that sort of stuff. So we took the time and we formed the Team Mikey charity as a charity for charities.
Right.
So we help other charities get awareness, and we donate wherever possible to the children's homes, citizens' homes, a lot of private homes as well. And for instance, one of the main charities that we work with is the BPW and the Domestic Ending Violence Against Women. One of the UniFem campaign, which I'm actually an ambassador for.
Yeah.
Right? And we work closely with them over the years that we've been together. And we've done school scholarships with Wesley Hall and Queen's College. We've done a lot of work with the Child Care Board. And I think children are the future. So we have to invest some time and some energy into these kids. And we do a lot of going into the schools and encouraging them, and we get a lot of emails and calls. Even sometimes just the parents want me to come and talk to the kids. You understand? To show them that even if you want to sing, or you want to be a DJ, or you want to be an artist, education is still very, very important, right? And when we go and we explain this to these kids, it almost like that aha moment. They're like, it makes sense now. So we've been going now. I think this is 3 years. 3 years going forward, and shortly we'll be making the we're going to be changing from a Team Mikey charity to the Team Mikey Foundation, which that will be able to help even more people, and not only locally but abroad as well.
Yeah. Well, you're a songwriter as well, also known as Mr. Consistent. Let's talk about your approach as it relates to sweet soca music and soca.
Songwriting.
Yeah.
I write from experience.
Okay.
Right? And one of the things you will always see me in the Fed. Right? Even after I done perform, I come down and I gotta get a piece of this action. Because I gotta feel what they're feeling.
Okay.
Right? So I could depict it and color it in the songs I write. Now I mainly write my party music.
Okay.
My up tempos. For difference, I co-write or I get songs from other people, or I purchase songs from other guys.
Okay.
Mr. Dale. Been working closely with Mr. Dale for years. I in that jamming, my party, those sort of songs. Then I worked with Sanctuary. with Loose, Enjoy My Life, Net City Rope, and Asher Sanctuary wrote Freedom. But we had that with this song like 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I just had it sitting down and like, hey, this ain't right here to do this song yet. This ain't right there till then. No, I decided this year I'm going to take a step back where party music is concerned, writing wise, and again try to see if I can find somebody who could do a party song that I can relate to.
Okay.
And Shaft Vibes, he contacted me with Hands on the Road, but then I had to adjust it a little bit so that I could, so I would feel comfortable with it. So he said the problem is the co-written song, right? Well, obviously he did the majority. Where I've had a lot, I actually have songs put down already for next year. I've been working with songwriters from, besides Barbados, Trinidad, other songwriters in Trinidad, Antigua, St. Vincent. We've been working with some producers from Grenada and St. Vincent as well. Like specifically doing songs specific for their carnival. Eventually, I guess they would, when they release the tracks, and then they would get back to Barbados. Yeah. But they're on rhythms out there for specifically like Grenada. We have a rhythm that is myself, Ricardo Drew, and Problem Child are the three on the for Grenada. I think Roots from Grenada has done that rhythm. Okay. That pending release sometime next week. Okay. Because Grenada's carnival is right after ours. Right? So it's a lot. It's always, for me, it's always learning, right? My approach is, first and foremost, Andy always taught me, if you write a song and you ain't moving to it, you got a problem, right? And it gotta be something hooky, people can sing along with, and it's always best that when you can find a topic that people could bang on, identify with, right? Then make the songs personal to them, and they hold on to them. You understand? And most of the time, those are the most successful songs. Okay.
Last year, I saw you at the Peak Rock Finals. That was different.
That was a whole different kettle of fish from Soca Royale and Party Monarch and Sweet Soca. Songs written by Ian Webster and Red Plastic Bag. And Bag and I, we worked very, very closely. And Ian was he was intrigued and excited that I wanted to do social commentary. So he asked me what I wanted to sing about, and as I told you before, with my alliance with the domestic violence, I said if anything, out of the first song that I want to approach has to be something touched on domestic violence. Turn Up the Love, and it was very well received throughout the season and outside the season as well. And tent nights and that sort of stuff, it was different because I'm accustomed partying, ideally partying when they're performing. Yeah. But then I had to sit back and be serious. I can't be singing a song, I'm smiling all over the place, right? Right? So it was a completely different approach. Somebody had to get accustomed to how we wear a suit. Anyone who knows me knows I hate suits, right? But it was different, but I welcome the challenge because it makes you grow as an entertainer, as a person, and as an artist. To be able to say, well, they can sing Sweet Soca, you can sing party music, you can sing commentary, whatever you want, you can do. You know what I'm saying? Makes you more versatile. And from 10 to semi-final stage was fun. It really was it was fun. But finals was wow. It was the tension's thick. The even the stage, I don't know if it's just my subconscious, it's just psychology, but even the stage sounded different because that's the same stage we use for Cobbler Pot. But on final night, it sounds different. You understand? And when you see all those people there sitting down, ideally, it's a completely different thing. And I was like, well, this is some serious stuff. I like this. Right? And again, all learning, all constantly learning. And I think for my first year doing it, making it all the way to the finals is a great achievement. I was ecstatic, right? So I told him, well, definitely you see me coming again. Again, let the chips fall where they may, but I'll be putting my best foot forward where Cricket Crop is concerned.
Well, Mikey, I want to thank you very much for coming. It was a very informative conversation, and I want to wish you all the best once again for Crop Over 2015. Thank
you. Quickly, I will need to thank my partners, if that's okay. Chefette Restaurants, Digicel, Monster Energy, Steel Building Works, Little League Gym, Nubian Naturals. As you can see, make sure you got me here. Listen, then Atlantis Submarines is going to come on board for the first time. TMR. Listen, on all those brands who have aligned themselves with me and helped me through the years, I greatly appreciate it, and I want to say thank you. And we have some other partnerships forming that we haven't signed off as yet, but you can look out for some new exciting partnerships forming with Mikey and some regional brands as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my guest being featured today, Mikey Mercer.